Hi friends, Christy here over at Crafty Christy's Creations, and today I've got 4 tips on how to stay organized in your craft room. Stay tuned for all the fun. So this here is my paper rack, and I've just got little pieces of cardboard on each shelf, and I stick my paper on top of it. It's all color coded, and they're made from these wire racks that you get, and then all I did was just put zip ties in and put them every tier instead of just making squares. And I'll link to where you can get some of these racks if you'd like. That is my paper rack for organization. And then to organize my scraps of paper, I have these little pockets that I picked up at the dollar store, and I've just got them labeled. This one's black. So in here I have all my black scraps, and then in the front I put more of my grayish color scraps. I tried to start with just getting them to match, so like pink has pink, and then purple is purple, blue is blue, but it didn't work out that way, but they're each labeled, and then I know that these are all my red scraps that are in here. And then when I go to start cutting, I always go through my scraps first to see if I've got scraps that I can use up before pulling out a whole sheet of paper. And you'll see I keep scraps really kind of all different sizes, you know. I can always cut something really small out of this, especially when you're doing paper piecing cards. Little scraps like this is really all you need. And then there's ways that I keep my desk organized. I take my pickle jars and other glass jars that I have laying around. I get all the sticky off of them and then just make them nice and clear, throw them through the wash. And this is what I keep my markers in. And then I've got these little mason jars of all different sizes that I use. This one's got some little black star confettis, but I just keep lots of little things like this sitting around on my shelf and on my desk for easy access. And this is stuff that's reusable. So, you know, it was free to stay organized. And now let's talk about vinyl storage. This is probably the hardest one for me to keep everything organized and looking pretty. I start off with everything just kind of in this bin. I just keep the rolls like this. And this is all my heat transfer vinyl sitting here. I try to keep them rolled with the piece of paper that comes with it so that I know what it is. And then if the pieces get too small or they start getting flattened out, then I will move them over to a container like this. This one, and it's labeled on here, this one's for my permanent vinyl. I tend to get the Oracal sheets, so they work really well in this container. And then I just put all the scraps on top. And then I try to keep on my scraps, write down what color it is, so I kind of know like this is a scrap of this piece. It's a kind of a tedious process when I try to go through and pick out the color I want. I've got them color coded in here. But this is what I do that helps keep me organized. And I'm hoping that these tips will help you too. My last tip for you to keep you organized is using my chart for keeping track of your cut settings. So on this, I've got the material that I'm using, the blade depth, and the type of blade, if it's a ratchet or a rotary blade, the speed, the force, how many passes, and then there's a section here for notes. So if like this is a pre-made setting that's already there, or you know, a reminder to mirror my HTV before cutting, that goes on here too. So this is my final tip on ways to stay organized in your craft room. Well, there you have it. There's my 4 tips to help you get organized in your craft room.